Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to this, the championship day for the Classic Hot Rods here on Sunday the 11th of April. And well, this is really what the pinnacle of the weekend's been all about. We've had 3 qualifying heats so far last Saturday night. We've got the final qualifier today, and the points allocated from those 4 heats will make for the championship grid for this, the inaugural event for the Classic Hot Rod Series. This will be the very first time that the Classics have raced in Scotland this weekend on a competitive level, and everybody will be really eager to get the championship event today, the Scottish Open. So we'll have a look around the pits just once again, just to make out how much work some of those drivers had to do in readiness for today's event. Well, I'd just like to thank Jade and Lana there for filming the introduction, and we will now get set to have a little look around the pits and see what some of the drivers have to make about how they've done with their cars since a rather fraught event for some of them on Saturday night. And if we may, we'll just have a quick word with Keith. Keith, obviously this is a weekend that means an awful lot to you on a personal level. Can you just tell us about how this weekend means to you personally?
Well, personally, obviously this was a tribute to my dad. Obviously the car and the memorial for him, which we were looking off at HRP, agreed that we could have it here, obviously for the 40 odd years that my dad raced. It's a family event, really looking forward to it.
And of course the car is a direct tribute to what your father raced it back in the day, and it does mean a lot to you personally to be racing this car in front of local fans.
Oh, definitely. Like you say, I'm just going to keep the car like that. I just feel part of the history.
Yeah.
As like Willie stands next to us, they all know the cars from that day and that era. That's why we've done it.
Brilliant, it really looks the part. You had a few issues with the car though last night, didn't you?
Oh well, race 1 the exhaust fell off. The Joyce tried to get away with it, but got the flag. Race 2 and 3 throttle jamming open, which isn't a good thing at the end of the straight, so no. Fingers crossed for today.
Fingers crossed for today. Well, enjoy it no matter what, that's the main thing. Thank you.
No problem.
So, that's local driver 162, Keith Cheshire, nicknamed the Cheshire Cat for all the right reasons, a bit of a play on words with his surname, but looking well and enjoying himself, looking forward to today. Graham McCabe's car is here. Well, this car was in the orange livery for season 2015. Graham has refreshed the look of the car with new stickers, new sign work, and indeed new sponsorship. Make of that what you will. But yeah, a great sense of humour, and one bucking the trend of the dominance of the Fords in Classic Hot Rods. It's a delight to see Graham's Ford Vauxhall Chevette body car out in Classics. He's got a new car coming out for the summer, and that will certainly be a surprise and a delight for many people as he's getting ready a Talbot Sunbeam to take place in the Classics during the summer. So I would imagine that this car will become available potentially for sale, and with the prospect of a Classic Hot Rod Series starting in Scotland for season 2016, and that will bode well for a prospective new driver in Scotland to join the class. Darren Owen, the existing Best of Britain champion, made his way up from the West Midlands to compete, and you can see that the car itself looking particularly battle scarred now. Darren, it was a day of challenges yesterday. What do you think of racing on the small circuit at Lochgelly?
It's a lot harder than the long tracks at Ensford, and I keep switching Tipperary. It's
a completely different rhythm, yeah.
I was shattered when I got off, I'll be honest, but lovely facilities here.
Yeah.
And definitely been treated well. I look forward to coming back again.
All right, well done, well done.
It's nice to give a little bit back to the Scottish lads who've supported Classics in the Midlands.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? They put themselves out for the last 5 years. It was nice to return the favour.
I think that the fans have really enjoyed what they've seen, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been good.
So, how do you think the championship will go today then?
I'm not making any predictions, but I know I've got my own sort of idea what I'm going to do. Do you know?
Right.
Back, let them get it sorted out, and then just plod your way through after.
Thanks very much, Darren. All the best.
See you in a bit.
So Darren Owen from Henrisford in Staffordshire, best of Britain champion, and a bit of a war horse of a car, but it certainly still delivers the goods. Moving on through the pit lane, we can see the number 12 car of Trevor Harris, Trev the Rev, and it will be interesting to see how the drivers compete this afternoon in what could be changeable weather conditions. It's very dark and threatening terrain now, and I think it will suit some drivers more than others. One of which will be hoping for the wet weather is Charlie Shembry. Charlie is quite adept at the wet weather racing, and although his car did have plenty of engine trouble yesterday, I think that he did mention to me just a short while before that if it's wet weather he'll be quite happy, and no doubt doing a bit of a rain dance. Car is getting ready for practice, and you can see from the party animal that she was last night, she's still got the old makeup on. Yeah. Cara, what time did you get in from partying last night? 5 in the morning. Right, I'm enjoying yourself. So that's Cara Boyd, and really enjoying life. Enjoying her partying when she's not working, and enjoying her racing when she's not partying. Graham Boyd, the father, and some close competition with the rest of the drivers yesterday, and his Austin A40 is looking a little bit battle scarred, but we'll see if he can give us the thumbs up, and he does indeed. So thank you to Graham, and we'll see how the Team Boyd get on in their racing this afternoon. So there's Graham, there's Cara making her way out to do some practice. So moving on through pit lane again, passing some of the national hot rods that are competing today for their Scottish Championship. And we can see that Team Stewart have been working on their Anglia. Plenty of attention to detail on that car. Nothing will be brought short in making sure that that car is as race-worthy as it can be, as they are an extremely competitive outfit and will be looking for the wins. I don't want to do one, yes. And of course Gary Goodswin, just getting ready for practice himself. Very competitive yesterday. It took another race win, and as we just mentioned a little earlier on, Gary, a good consistent day yesterday. You must have been quite pleased.
Yeah, very pleased. Three nice finishes. Hopefully another finish today, and fairly up front for the big race. So.
Well, congratulations, and we'll wish the very best. All right, thank you. So, Gary Goodswin, currently the nation's number 2 in classic hot rods. And then we have a look over at some of the Irish contingent, and amongst them in fact is 198 Andy Stewart. Andy Stewart has been working on that car after failing to finish the 3rd heat last night, and furiously working on ensuring that the rear axle on that car is true after getting into contact yesterday. So the boys are indeed quite busy on the 198 car just at the moment. Kevin Feeney, sponsored by the Shannon Group, works hard in England, races in Ireland, but again here in Scotland today, and that's the 100 car. Number 10 of course is Podge McQuaid, and Podge working on this car. You were saying to me a little earlier on trouble with the alternator, is that right?
Still am.
Struggling?
No, could be alright.
It should be okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Keep the batteries charged.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I wish you all the best. Did you enjoy it yesterday? Because that was
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Did you feel as if you'd been thrown a little bit into the deep end coming here to race today?
A little bit, but I was mad to get in.
Great. You know? It'll be different when you get to Tipperary with the vast expanse of oval compared to here.
Yeah, should be, don't know, a bit easier, but faster anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you.
You know, Rob.
Right. And of course, alongside the day-glow green of Podge is the day-glow orange of Damien Corrigan. And again, just also working on the engine just at the moment. And how did you feel it went then with your debut yesterday? Did you feel very much the same as Podge did?
Yeah, I was a bit nervous about going out with all the big drivers out there, a lot of fast and very good drivers out there. So my aim was to stay out of trouble and just get the 3 races in without any damage. So
very sensible, really. You've got to get the track time down, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So I haven't done much racing up till now, so it was a
well, you certainly didn't disgrace yourself because you were pretty much on the pace while still learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time you go out, it seems to get quicker and quicker. You know what I mean? So I've got to know how the car handles. It's not fully set up yet, so there's a bit of work to be done yet. But I'm delighted the way it went.
So all things being well, as long as the things go true again today, then ready for Tipperary in a fortnight.
Yeah, absolutely. If I can put this back up in the lorry this evening, I'd be the happiest man in Lochgelly.
Good. Well, we're delighted that all of you Irish drivers had made such work to come over today, and I think everybody really appreciates it.
Scottish guys are very good there. They've helped us out a lot there with the problems we had, and they've all been very helpful in fairness. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about. Sure, so it's very good.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your day today. Thank you. So some of the Irish contingent, and certainly showing really what the true attitude of good racing is all about. 175, Andy O'Donnell, second in the national points in Ireland in 2015, just doing some last adjustments to his car. And of course 25, Trevor Cusack. Let's just see whether we can catch what Trevor, what is it you're working on at the moment, sir?
Nearly there, tracking in a new div.
It's still are you on track to be okay?
Yeah.
All right. We'll let you get on, thank you. So that's Trevor still being busy and making her way back through one of the last few drivers who are competing today, and you can see 210 Huey Weaver. Again, a driver who was a little bit in the wars last night, but we can see that the tail end of that machine has been shaped out again, and hopefully the tracking and the rose joints on the near side front of this car has been corrected also. And Huey, no doubt, being very keen to show some of the younger drivers in the sport that, irrespective of age, you don't lose the ability. And no doubt that Huey will be looking forward to being as competitive as the rest of them for today's championship event. And still we move on through, just to do a wee feature on the last driver amongst us in pit lane. As you can see and hear, some of the classics taking in some practice alongside the nationals at the moment. And over in this area of pit lane we can see 924 Stuart Wright. Stuart, again, talking to me earlier on, just explaining really how pleased he was with the Anglia, and again a driver who's very adept to racing this shorter length car around these smaller tracks very keenly indeed, and enjoying just how competitive he was. Indeed, we remarked through Heat 3 last night as to how much he was putting Andy Stewart under pressure in one of the races, and again he's feeling quietly optimistic if he gets the break in today's event. So that's 924 Stuart Wright. So that's completes our run down pit lane for today's racing. This is going to be the Scottish Open Championship. We have the last qualifier as our first event this afternoon. The championship event itself, which is over 30 laps and with points order, and then it'll be an all-comers final to conclude our weekend of racing. So enjoy everything forthcoming on Classic Hot Rod TV, and don't forget that to appreciate these classics at their very best is to be at the track itself. So enjoy.